Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Morning, fellas. Dan, Glenn, James, you're in early. Good morning. Very good morning, Dan. Chris, good morning. Guys, very good morning to you. Randy and Sue, Daryl, Donna, Randy. Guys, good morning. It is Tuesday. Moshi, good morning. Bill, it is Raymond, good morning. It is November 17th, and we're back at it. Mark, good morning. Cecil, good morning and welcome back. Tony, guys, if you're here for the week, I want to welcome y'all back. Yesterday was a decent day. It was not a highly volatile trade, which we've seen since about last week, Wednesday. Just a somewhat slow and lethargic trade. Even, I'll tell you, the best action yesterday was the last 10 minutes of the trade session and then 15 minutes after the close. NASDAQ took off like a rocket, hit my target. If you guys recall, I gave you a target yesterday. We've now hit 12,000, I believe, in 70 overnight. We're now looking for 109. Tesla has been rolling. Good morning. Tesla has been added to the S&P 500. I think it's next month they'll be added. And there is 8 a.m. I love this trade station stuff. Ninja should do the same. Guys, coming into the session, we've got selling pressure overnight in the NASDAQ, almost inconsequential. I mean, 200 buyers, 150 buyers in the ES, sellers in silver, sellers in gold, sellers in crude. Looks like we've got selling. Natural gas actually has net buyers, but is pulling back. I'll run through. I don't think TradeStation is, I don't know. I've not had an issue with my TradeStation, but David, I don't believe TradeStation has the same issues as Ninja. I think that Ninja has some unique peculiarities, whether it's 7 or 8, but in any event. Todd, good morning. Hey, I did that video for you. I'll send it to you today. I actually did it Saturday and forgot to send it, Todd. Did it Saturday morning. Yeah, you would think that Ninja, as many years as they've been around, they would have resolved some of these issues, but be that as it may, you know what they say, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Guys, yesterday was a decent day. The bots did 1190. Not many trades. Order flow, trades were very decent as well for anyone that's taken advantage of them. I did put a trade yesterday. Tony, good morning. I did put a trade yesterday in member Skype on gold. It was an 86-1 long with an 83 stop with a target at 90 and 91. We got our 91. Came within 8 ticks of the stop out, but nonetheless went to target. We do have some small buying in gold at the point. Let me quickly run through the charts just to show you guys that are here on trial where we're at. This is the ES. Good morning, Hubba Hubba. This is the ES here, fellas. We went into a short at 5:30 and targets have been hit. So we're already in shorts on the 15-minute. We would need a fairly decent bid to get the 15-minute long. If anything, it'll be this afternoon. I doubt we're going to get a 15-minute trade. We may, but it does not look that way. It's already hit targets. Here is copper, which shorted at 5 a.m. this morning, not quite to first target. It did have a short just before midnight, hit targets. failed long here at 4:15 a.m., but this short here is working toward target. So that's in shorts. That's also a 15-minute. You guys may be seeing a theme here, right? I like my 15 minutes. Here is a 15-minute on gold. Took a long at 4 o'clock this morning, did not make it to target, and is now currently in a short since 6:45 on the 15-minute. I'm just going through the bots for you guys. This is the Unirenko that I like to trade with the ES. That's last night. That's last night. That's last night. We've been in shorts on the Unirenko. Everything was last night. There's not been a trade today, but the Unirenko also in shorts. A couple of targets hit and moving lower. So that's going to need a reversal, obviously. This is a chart that probably most of you do not trade. This is cotton. Took a short at 2:45 a.m. First target hit only. Cotton is working lower. Here is natural gas. I'm sorry, that was CL, not cotton, CL. Thank you, CL. I said cotton, it's CL. That's hit first target and working lower as well. This is my natural gas on a 15-minute. That's shorted at 7 a.m. and it's just hit first target. CL short 41.31 and the bot sold it at 41.30. The bot sold 4130. You sold 4131. You got an extra $10. Let's see here. What else do we have? Here is silver. Silver shorted at 113 in the morning, hit first target, may reverse here, but currently in a short. It looks like it's trying to turn up. The chart that I prefer to trade crude on, which is my Unirenko, much like the 15-minute, is in shorts, has been in shorts since 2 o'clock this morning. ES short 36.03. My ES short would have been 36.07 quarter. Just a chart style, Alice. What else do we have here? Boop, boop, boop. You know what I did? I'm showing you guys the charts because this is looking like that's not what I want. I did this chart. I did a DAX chart on a 5-minute. Nobody really trades the DAX in the room anymore. A few of the guys do, but for the most part, I used to trade this a bit. DAX is doing diddly. Nothing. I mean, there's been no trades on it using a small 5-minute chart that was set for an hourly at one time. I adjusted it, but nobody really trades it. Natural gas is getting poofed at the moment. And NASDAQ on the 3-minute. NASDAQ on their, there's a couple of 3-minute charts. NASDAQ on the 3-minute, that long was at 648. It hit 2 targets, both, two. Didn't go to third, but nonetheless hit target 1 and target 2. Shorted here at 742. It never flipped into a long. It's giving another sell signal at 48 and another sell signal here at 54, 754. It's already hit first target. It's looking like a sellers overnight and night. We're going to need some reversals to get some bot trades, fellas. In any event, if you guys, there are some of you that are joining us for the first time today. We still have trials that are coming in from the mailing that we did. And for those of you that may be joining us for the first time, I have tried to send you out all yesterday's recording, which went over the room, what it is we do in the room, explaining the bots. But for a brief explanation, if you're joining us for the first time today, the robots are our focal point. Alice, everybody has been entered into Benchmark email. I would look into your spam or junk folder because typically that's where Benchmark email ends up. But the room is comprised of two assets or two different factors. One is going to be the bots, the robots, which are, the primary focus. And the secondary focus, of course, is going to be order flow trades. So for those of you that are interested in taking manual trades, I will offer order flow trades as well. We did have some very nice order flow trades yesterday, as we do generally every day. I will show the order flow today again. I'll show the auto aspect of it. Some of you may be interested in learning actually to trade manually. Currently, the markets are just, guys, this is basically the market that we've seen since last week, Wednesday. Yeah, if you joined last night, Daryl, I probably didn't send it. But if you send me an email, and my email address is on, you got to go to webinar. I'm happy. I'd love to send you yesterday. Anybody that did not get yesterday's email, I'm more than happy to send it to you. I think it's important that you have it for two reasons. One, you'll get a chance to kind of review yesterday's trades with the robot, as well as the order flow trades, because the room is part of any membership. And two, it talks about the different memberships. And I send it out every single day. In any event, guys, we're here. Let me quickly read the disclaimer, assuming I can find it. There we go. Yeah, Raymond, give me 1 second and I'll come back to that. Raymond. U.S. government required disclaimer. Futures and options trading has large potential rewards, but also large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the futures and options markets. Do not trade with money you can't afford to lose. This website is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy or sell futures or options. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed on the website. Past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. CFTC Rule 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Since trades have not been executed, results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. As well, past performance is not indicative of future results. The fact that I may trade a lot, take trades live, has no bearing on whether you should or should not. Each of you as traders should make your own determination. Okay? Raymond, if you would send me an email. You've never heard any room read the disclaimer? I read it every single day. In fact, my members probably get up and go get coffee when I read it. Ryman, you asked about the order flow. So as a member, the order flow. Let me just bring it up. So for those of you guys that might not have been here yesterday, the order, this is you're going to get along, it looks like, on natural gas here, fellas. Okay, Daryl. The order flow, guys, this is my order flow. It was built for me. This is not a third-party order flow. And just to give you some background on this order flow, I don't care what, and I've traded a number of them. I started with the NOFT many years ago, and I've kind of progressed through order flow analytics, Acme, Jigsaw. I've used a number of them. And as an order flow, most of them contain very similar aspects, right? I mean, there's only really so much you can do with order flow. The thing is, not all order flows contain the same aspects. So what we had done about 4.5 years ago when we built my order flow was basically take the best aspects or the things that we felt were important from individual, like order flow analytics had some nice things, and we've actually compiled them into one order flow. So the order flow indicator, as you see here, is 1295. Okay. Now, yesterday I showed you guys the auto aspect of it, where it will trade on stacked imbalances. Okay. And a few other things, right? We can do bracket trades. We can do washouts or sequential declines. So that aspect, this auto aspect, is 1295 as well. So for instance, this would have already put you in long. You'd be long here if you weren't. And the nice part about it is, much like the robot, you could have 10 order flows open pending trades on 10 instruments. And as long as you get stacked imbalances, buyers or sellers, you can get a trade. Or if you get, sequential declines, or what we've labeled as washouts, it'll execute a trade. So you don't have to myopically be focused on 3, 4, 5 different order flows, saying, okay, well, I'm above here. I got stack buyers. I got this, I got that. Okay, I should enter a trade. There is no other order flow that I'm aware of that has that auto execute aspect. I think it's a phenomenal tool. Many of my members have it. But it's $12.95 for the order flow, and it's $12.95 for the auto. Oh, of course, absolutely, right. So anybody that purchases something gets 3 months in the room. So you're going to get 3 months in the room. So whatever it is, whether you purchase the bot or the order flow, whatever, we're going to teach you how to use it and when to use it. I think, which is key, right? Not how. Anybody can hit a button. But what we look, what I look for, and anybody that buys the order flow, we'll send you out. We'll make sure that I have some videos, and we'll start you with some videos, and we'll have you in the room, and we'll talk about it. But around the open, periods of high volatility, manually, none of us can catch those trades. It's just impossible. It's too much. Oh, look at this copper trade, monster, unfortunately. So let me address another issue, right? Coming into the session, I generally don't have my robots on. And the reason for that is I like to start out at 0 with all of you in the room. I don't think anybody in this room would be interested if I ran the robot overnight and we came into the room and I said, well, listen, guys, I've been running it since 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here it is 14 hours later, and I'm up $12 trillion. Who'd care? You didn't see the trades? I mean, I could certainly go back and show the trades, but nobody'd care. My point is, the robot is not just a tool to start trading because I've opened the room at 8 o'clock. The robot can be traded theoretically 24 hours a day. Now, there are some time periods when you probably don't want to trade it the same as you wouldn't want to trade manually, right? When the market is dead quiet. but there's no time limitation per se on the robot, meaning, well, you can't start trading it until 8 o'clock because the room is not open. You can trade the thing at 5 in the morning if you want. In fact, Europe gets the best trades 3 o'clock in the morning. The nice thing about the robot is there is a time filter in there, so we can set it to trade at 3 o'clock in the morning. Just because you're sleeping doesn't mean the robot can't trade. NASDAQ's getting a bid here, fellas. Probably trade back up to close to 50. Maybe even 70. All right, so let me get some bots on here. Let me get my gold on. My gold 3-minute is now on. It's actually in a long. Would have been in the long. So here is gold on a 3-minute. Okay. It just went into a long at 818. I'm just now turning them on. So if I wanted to enter so let me show you something cool. Now we know it's in a long trade, right? It fired a long. Yes, here, right? So let's assume I want to enter that trade. I could buy market. And if this comes back up through, I'm going to show you guys something. All right, so it filled. I turned the exits button off and on. And I got this. I missed the entry originally because I didn't have my bot on. It's on now. And it just took that long trade. I turned the exits button off and on, and it toggles the targets right to where they should be. Okay? So you can also use the robot manually. If you miss a trade or you want to take a trade or you get a pullback. Gold can actually trade back to 1910. I think ultimately gold is headed down to 1800. Saudi oil minister making comments. All right. I do have my gold on, guys. I have silver on, which is going into a long as well. It hasn't fired yet.
Order filled.
Copper's getting blasted, just blasted. Natural gas has been blasted. Gold has to push through 85. Is that 85? No. 89.1 and we'll get target. 89.1. That's its resistance. 89.1. You can see it right here. Maybe 2. And it should work up into 90. Yes, it is VWAP. Yep. VWAP 1, 2, and 3 standard deviations. Those are basically all I use. Slow and slower. Guys, ES, if ES breaks below 35.96, it could get hit. If it breaks below 96 quarter maybe, it's going to get smacked on the ES. No, they don't join today. They get added, I think, in December. Today is Tuesday. Yeah, advanced retail sales. Yep. We probably don't want to be in many trades. 10 o'clock, National Association of Home Builders Housing Market Index. September business inventories. Redbook retail sales I care less about. But we do have 4-star news at 8:30. Yeah, crude doesn't. Nice job, Daryl. Yeah, it's in December they get added. Man, I'm looking. I'm looking. Walmart.com sales grew in the triple-digit range. $6B is up tonight. Might roll here on a 5-minute. Sure, Kieran. From where does the bot tool take the live feed? Well, through the NinjaTrader platform. What you would do is you excuse me. you would, whenever you open up your Ninja, you have to have a data feed. So one of the cardinal rules is we generally don't want our bots on during 4-star news, right? You need to open an account with NinjaTrader, correct? Yes. Or Sierra Charts. The bot's built for Sierra Charts. I personally hate the Sierra Chart platform. Gold does have some support here at 86.6. Does NinjaTrader Strategy Analyzer for No, it does not. The reason it does not, and we have built a back testing strategy for the bots because the NinjaTrader basic NinjaTrader back testing does not have the ability to monitor multiple time frames of moving averages. One-tenth lower than expected. 1/10 lower than expected. Headline number 3/10 lower. Gas. You don't have to, Mark. No, you don't have to. This was running and I took a manual trade. Small buyers in here, guys. If this gets through 99.1, it's going to target. Still stuck at 99.1. I mean 89.1. ES or GC, what? I have no trades. I'm watching them. I have no trades. They're not moving. I would say ES is a short, but it's been in shorts, and it just broke that bottom I gave you guys at 96.25. Come on, gold. Seriously? Push this. One tick from target. Came one tick from target. You guys want to take your money? Take it. It's your prerogative. It's failing at small resistance again with sellers. NASDAQ's following the ES into the abyss. NASDAQ's coming down to 11. NASDAQ's going to short on the 15-minute on the robot if anybody wants that short. It won't short until 45, quarter of. But the 15-minute NASDAQ is going to follow the 15-minute ES. Gold came literally one tick from target. All right, that's enough. That's it for me. You guys can have it. Done. Get out. I still think gold is going to long. I'll take it on the 15-minute when the 15-minute turns up, which it's trying to do. NASDAQ is probably going to head down to 0275. NASDAQ looks like 0275. 03. If NASDAQ comes below 03, we could trade 980. Yeah, GC is $10. I said below 96 quarter, it's going to get hit, and it did. It came to 93. ES looks like it can work all the way down to 74. I'm not saying it's a, fall out of bed straight drop, but that's where it looks like it's coming, is 74. Dollar index trying to get a small bid here. Gold may give you a small sell down to 83.8 to 84 area. Where is my damn? There it is. Guys, I have so many charts, it's ridiculous. No, Alicia, I did send out Jack yesterday's recording. If anybody did not get yesterday's recording, send me an email and I'll send it to you. I did send it out. All right, so we're short on gold on the 377 tick, fellas, on the bot. Alicia, I let the robots take the trade, so analyzing on the 15-minute has no bearing on me unless I have a 5-minute robot. NASDAQ, what is that? Nothing. Randy, you were in the room yesterday, were you not? I went over all that in the morning. So the robot is a multi-time frame analysis of moving averages. Your primary chart and then your secondary charts. Good morning, Jeff. Primary charts and then secondary charts, which are on the left, which are what these charts are over here. These are actually charts. So the robot is assessing the moving averages on your primary chart and these charts. When they're all in agreement, only then will you get a trade. It is the only robot of its kind. Most of these robots operate on divergence. I am not a huge fan. Oh, okay, no worries, no worries. What I'll do at 11:30 today is I'll briefly go over everything. But I did send out yesterday's recording, guys. Anybody that would like to review yesterday's recording, I went over the room, what you can expect. I'm going to bring that down. What you can expect, how the room is, how the robot works. Excuse me. This looks like it's going to take me out. And I may have said this yesterday, but I've said this to my members before. I am becoming, and have become over the last many weeks, disinterested in trading this 377 tick. It's too small a time frame out. It's just a small, it's 377 ticks. And it's just, for me, it's awfully small. I prefer the bigger time frames. They will keep you in trades. Whereas that small 377 tick, NASDAQ's coming down further, fellas. If it drops below 08, we come 03. Below 03, we could trade to 980. That's an order flow trade now, guys. That is not. Yeah, of course, Ryman. Absolutely. Absolutely. Gold is sideways, just chop. This is a 15 range. You can see it. It's up and down in a small area. I think longs. Three minutes in a long has not come out of a long. 15-minute is turning up. So we're going to let this take another trade here. That's that 377 tick again. Again, it's a really small. We've got buyers. They're buying down that negative delta. Yeah, Raymond, I agree. Unless it's a period of huge volatility, I agree. And I will probably disregard this 377 tick. The only reason I've let this take this long is that the 3-minute is in a long and the 15-minute is as well. So the bigger time frames are long. Again, we're down to 250 contract negative delta from 980 here, and they're buying them back. If this can pop up through 89.8, it's going 91.3 or so. One of the things that is correct, Bill. So one of the things that we've seen since last Wednesday is basically a lethargic trade since last Wednesday. I mean, gold should break out. I mean, you can see on these standard deviations, they are flat. We have just basically traded 1-to-1. VWAP's in the middle, one standard bottom and top. We've not really broken much out of this range. Let me take a look at NASDAQ here, fellas. NASDAQ should trade back into VWAP if anybody wants a small first target at around 30, 23, 24 to 30. It's a small dink and dunk trade, and then it's free after that. But down to 180 net sellers. They're buying them up. They're just not moving this thing down to 150, 155. Yeah, you only have to build your primary chart and then add your secondary trend filters. You don't have to build those secondary charts, Richard. Yeah, that would be a ton of work, wouldn't it? Here we are, one tick again from first target. We've seen this move. There it is, first target filled. So here's what I've got, guys. I now have on gold an open third target. I do not have a fixed target on gold. So the ATM setting that I'm using here is 3 contracts, 2 off at target 1, and a runner until it pulls back and takes my trailing stop. So you'll notice I have a trailing stop, but I do not have a fixed target. I'm just going to let this trail indefinitely. Well, I mean, theoretically indefinitely, right? So this will just auto trail until it gets a pullback and takes out the runner. So first target is off. And we get another 377 candle, or 377 tick candle. It will give the 15-minute is long, the 3-minute is long. This will auto trail up as well. If it were to sell off now, it looks like it's break even plus 1. If gold can get above 98, I mean, we're $7 away, but above 98, this thing will break out a country mile. We still haven't hit target. There we go. We would have just 1 tick shy of target 2 here. Well, they would have. They would have. Actually, no. The 15-minute would have been long in the same spot, believe it or not. Here is the 15-minute. It's the same trade here, fellas. So the 15-minute would it no. The 15-minute would have been long a couple ticks lower. The 3-minute would have been long at 88.3. So the 3-minute would have been long 6 ticks sooner. Good morning, Mr. Don. Mama. I don't know why this isn't auto trailing. So the bot has hit second target. You got a 37 tick runner here on gold, 36 ticks, 35 ticks. That's why. There we go. Trail was off. Now on the 15-minute, just for what it's worth, the 15-minute also would have taken a long, right? First target would have just been hit on the 15-minute at 37 ticks. So again, I have an open third target. If this thing wants to go to 2,500 today, this will trail all the way to 2,500. Whatever. I have an open third target. Now, ideally, I don't want this to pull back below first target, right? It's got ticks locked in, but I surely want to get at least 19 out of it, right? Now we've hit second target. We're above second target, actually. Usually when we get up near third target, should we get that high, we're fairly overbought or oversold, and we typically will get a pullback. Now, even at second target, we're generally running about 2 times average true range. We're going higher in gold, guys. I think gold can get to 1910. I'm not saying it gets there today, but 1910 is a target on gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually move this to 19 ticks. It'll probably take me out, but I don't want to give back anything more. Yeah, we're in a sell zone all the way up to 98 in here. There's inventory all through here, Ray, is what I see. If we get above 88, this thing can go bananas, but I'm 98 can go bananas. Now again, okay, so out. So when all is said and done, and as somebody once said, and there's nothing left to do or say, when all is said and done, we took 2 trades. We took a losing trade on that first long, came 1 tick from target and then sold. And now we've taken a winning trade and the bot is down $20. We're down $20. That's the net result of 2 trades. Crude doesn't look like it's going to give us much today. Red Book retail sales, who cares? Have no effect on us. We take a look at crude. Crude can get to 4106. Red Book retail sales down. There's a big who cares. And natural gas is actually trying to turn up. Where's my order flow? Hang on, guys. You got a long here, guys, on NASDAQ to VWAP. You have a long. I would be long 25 quarter, but it's a small first target. I mean, you can take it in here aggressively. The big buyer is down here at point of control. It's not a trade I like, but coming through 25 quarter, it's going to work to VWAP and then probably closer to once if we can get a 5-minute candle close above this 30 half, which is volume weighted average price, we can trade back up to 1270, 12,070. 45 would be the next level. 63. We've pulled everything down. So one of the things my order flow guys should be seeing is on this up move, we're pulling everything lower, right? Usually that means we're going to move up through, statistically speaking. Let me take a look at natural gas, which is getting some giddy up. I miss natural gas, guys. When we looked at it, we were down here at the bottom, and we still have an unfinished auction at 678, but we now have 1,100 net buyers, right? VWAP and point of control are in the same place, 703. So we know we're long, probably the 718 and probably 727. This is going to be resistance. You see how this is rising? This is moving higher up, this 95% area of daily distribution. We're rising. Usually that's your wall. Unlike the NASDAQ, which I showed you previous, unlike the NASDAQ, which is getting pulled lower, this usually indicates a slingshot up through. Just another really, volume is light, 77,000 contracts. Not great volume. It's another fairly low volatility move or morning. Let me see what I see here, fellas. Gold looks like it'll pull back to 86.8. That would probably be another spot for an entry, 86.8. Here's where we're at for the moment. Dow futures are up 254, down 254. My apologies, down 254. S&P futures are off 24, call it 24, 25 handles, 24 handles. NASDAQ is up 22, and an eighth, 24. We're up 24. There's your VWAP target, basically. Should hit 30. VIX futures are up 2%. VIX futures are currently up 2%. DAX is down 68, 67 points. VIX cash is up 4.5%. So we're getting a somewhat rising VIX, although it's still fairly low. It's in the low 20s. All right, NASDAQ hit VWAP. Anybody take NASDAQ long, guys? Again, I don't count these trades. Did anybody take NASDAQ long? Okay, Don. All right, my guys did. All right, my order flow guys. Okay, fellas. That would be about your first target, right? Because what do we expect here? Here's what we expect. We got a fairly decent negative delta. We've tagged VWAP. Right, a fail. Now, I'm not saying we're going to. Nice job, Frank. I'm not saying we're going to fail here, but the probabilities are we're going to fail. We're going to pull back in here, right around VWAP. Those are our probabilities. Does it happen every time? No, but statistically speaking, it does. So that's why your target is VWAP. Anybody that's in this trade, if you want to hold them, I probably would protect my entry and be break even plus a couple ticks to pay for your ticket fees. That's how I would trade this. Not much of a trade, fellas. Maybe 5 points out of this, 6 points out of this. See how we're pulling back off VWAP, guys? This is what we would expect. We have a negative delta. We trade up to VWAP and reverse and come back down. That's generally what we see. Again, not always. But remember, as traders, we're trading probabilities. We're not trading, unfortunately, unlike, being a surgeon. If anybody in the room is a surgeon, or if anybody in the room has been to a surgeon and had to have your gallbladder out, you wouldn't want your surgeon saying we can make an incision somewhere around here, right? Kind of an exact thing. Trading isn't exact. We trade probabilities. So when we have a fairly stiff negative delta, overnight sellers of 1,300 contracts, we expect a move to VWAP, which is typically where institutions want to trade around. And with a negative delta, we get the failure. Now, what happens from here? We got our failure. We got a lot of resistance overhead. So for those of you guys that are on trial, or for my newer members, these blue lines on the top and the corresponding red lines on the bottom represent swings. So what do we have here? If you look at this, we got a swing at 42. I got a lower high at 40.5, a lower high yet at 35.5, and now the lower high at 32.25, all representing resistance, 5-minute resistance, but lower highs. We've got a series of lower highs in here. Conversely, look at the NASDAQ. I got a swing down at 91.50, 93, 94.75, 97, so on and so forth. I have higher lows. What are we getting? We're getting a succession of lower highs, higher lows. Price is going to break one direction or the other. We don't want to be in ZB. We'll see. I wouldn't be a buyer of ZB up here. No. No. We wouldn't want to buy up here, Mimi. We're all the way at the 95% area of daily distribution. I'm not saying we can't get a breakout, but breakout traders generally fail, right? I mean, again, anything is possible, but I wouldn't be long bonds up there for a couple of reasons. One, we got a small negative delta, but we're up in the top part of the range. I mean, I would think, and we've got an unfinished auction at 71.28. Eesh. If I were to take this trade, if somebody said, okay, look, you've got to take a bond trade, you have to take a trade, I would probably take the short, and I would trade it back into VWAP about 72.10 or 11. It's not a trade I'm taking, but if somebody said you have to take a trade, I wouldn't want to be long. Look, we want to be long down here on the bottom, oversold areas, and trade back up. We don't want to be long looking for a breakout trade. Those typically fail. Now, this could break 2 or 3 ticks higher and then fail. I don't know. But from here, the short is the trade, not the long. Fellas, it's 9:06, and I'm Jabberjawn. I'm going to go quickly eat my breakfast, and I will be back. Okay, guys? Be right back. All right, fellas, let's see here. Let me get some bots on. 15-minute has no shot. Crude got a nice bounce. Let me look at that ES. I think that ES is going to get clubbed. Oh, traded to a perfect short at 3,600. We could come all the way down to 90 on the ES. Nas Crack-a-lacky. Let's see what we got here, fellas. Well, let me get some bots on. That's on. That's on. All right. All right, guys. We still have a few minutes. Let's see if the ES can make it back up to 06. Nice EB. Let's see what it did. Yeah, I mean, that's basic. Yeah, should come down to VWAP 11. I mean, this is basic order flow stuff, right, guys? We're up near the highs, overbought in this area. We've got to pull back. We've got a stiff negative delta. We're coming lower in bonds, but thank you, Frank. All right, crude is on. Doubt we're going to get a trade there. Natural gas actually has got a ton of buyers. 1,800 buyers in natural gas. I mean, natural gas this time of year has got, for a position trade. NASDAQ could pull back to 23 and get a small bounce. Again, we're coming into the open, so we're going to get a volume push. Hang on, fellas. Let me get my... Where's my NASDAQ, Dom? All right, guys. Couple of minutes here. It looks to me lower on the open, but let's wait for the open. Gold is starting to get a bounce back. A lot of sellers in gold. 15 minutes still hasn't shorted. YM not looking good. We may get a bounce back up and then sell the bounce. Anybody have any questions before we go, guys? We got just under 2 minutes. Anything? Okay. Under a minute, guys. Under a minute to the open. My bots are on. See if we can get some trades. Coming into the open, guys, the bots are now up $410 after taking a first trade loser. Some of you guys, that may be your daily goal. Moshe, I'm going to have to look at that. 177, 233. 1 minute. What averages are you using? Can you send it to me, Steve? Send it to my email. Okay, cool. All right. We're off, fellas. We are off. After I view it. Let them putz around here, guys. Sellers I think we're coming lower, but let's let this play out. We came down to that 23 level, which is the 50 period moving average. And we're stuck at the 20. We're wedged between the 50 and the 20 on a 15 minute. I think lower, but let it play out. Down to 11.5 is what it looks like. ES kind of sitting. If ES is along, probably back up to 02, 03 is what it looks like. Small long on the ES, 02, 03. Maybe 04. Gold looks like it's going to pop long as well. A lot of sellers in gold, though. YM got a small push up. And by small, I mean small. Got all morning, guys. Nothing yet. NASDAQ chopping around. So let's do this. I have no bot trade yet. Let's take a look at ES. Yeah, 0304. That's where it should go. Maybe as high as 06. We do have net buyers in the ES. Natural gas, a lot of buyers. Unfinished auction at 78. I would be reluctant to be short natural gas. Here's gold. I would expect a failure here on gold on a drop below 87.3. NASDAQ came down to 17. You got to trade long now to what looks like 43. Yeah, I don't trade the open either, Ray. I try to let them settle down, get a direction. If we're going to be longs, that's great. We got buyers. Let's pull back and then look for an entry. I don't have a trade in here. I got nothing other than gold shorts, which is what it looks like. Sellers back in. Let me see what we look like on my 30 range. I'm looking to take a short. I'm going to short NASDAQ, I think, fellas. Just not yet. Not yet. A little smaller, a little more drop in that. We're still in the first 5-minute can. There it is. And we're bouncing again. Typical. We bounced off VWAP. If this drops down, NASDAQ should drop down to 11. That's what I'd like to see. Maybe somewhere between 12,000 and 12,010 for a. It's largely choppy. That's all. We're just hanging around VWAP, guys. We really have no direction yet. There's no stacked imbalances. There's no buyers, sellers. We have small net buyers of. Got to get away from VWAP. I think down. We've pulled the 68 up higher at 18. I think we come down to 11. That would be my target. Here we go. Come on. 11, 12. Come on. Push it. Up to 1,400 net sellers. We held that 68. I still think we're coming to 11. Delta's increasing. It's a short, fellas. It's not a long. NASDAQ, let me see what I got for a target. Somewhere around 8 or 9. That would be target. Just doesn't want to break yet. It's given ticks if anybody is short, but it doesn't want to break yet. It held one standard deviation at 16, but I still think lower. It's still pressure to the downside, not huge. I still think it's got to come to 11. Come on, break back below that 6. There we go. Down to 11. There's 14 and change. If anybody is short, 11 looks like about first target, maybe 12, but trade as you see fit. Come on down. Let's go. There we go. First target 11. First target 11. There's my first target, 11, filled. Target's filled. Now it's free. We're going to come somewhere down to 03. Thank you, Dean. Nice job, Frank. Come on, let's go, Stink Faith. We're going to hit that 99.75 eventually. It's going to work down. So you got your first target at 11. Next level down, guys, is about 03, right where this buy zone is, this green area in here. We should get a bounce out of there. Let it come down. Then 99.75 and then probably 92. So if you're running, anybody that's running, I got my first target off. I was short. It's coming. It's coming. $300 sellers plus in this. It's coming. 03, maybe 4, that area. We just hit 04. Yeah, we just hit, there we go. There we go. Here comes our 95%. We'll generally get a bounce off this because we're oversold on a 5-minute. Doesn't mean it can't break lower. We're coming to 92. Something filled somewhere. Let's see here. All right, got another target filled. And then 1 to go, if depending on how many you're running or what you're trading. Anybody still short? Anybody still short NASDAQ? Is there anybody short NASDAQ? Okay. So my first 2 targets are hit. Now, if you're running any still, okay, James, it's a free trade. 92 is the next level down. We should get to 92. Pressure is still on, on the sell side, guys. We held now basically 2 standard deviations. ES is holding up, if you will, the best. We'll come back down and test this, it looks like. Looks like we're going to hold 12,000. 77.25 is your final target or your first target. They can't get much buying in here, fellas. There's not many buyers yet. It's just treading water in here. Got small buyers. I would not be interested in the long here. I know I'm above the 68% or the 95%, but there's no buyers. Candle is green up in here. Buyers are up in here, top half of the candle. I see no size buyers. We're going to probably trade back to 16 on a bounce. Back to 16 on a bounce. Okay. Now we got buyers. We're back above the 68. Now we can probably target VWAP again to 28 on a scalp long. Now, if you're directionally bias short, this would be moot. But if you're scalping at this, you're going to scalp back up to 28 now. Still struggling with buyers. We have a ton of buyers in here, 360, 370. ES needs to break 94. I've got ES has to come down through 93. And then it comes to 90 half. 500 buyers in here, guys. Again, 500 buyers we haven't pushed up into VWAP, which is interesting. It's losing some buyers. It's rolling over again. $15-minute is just brutal. 15-minute is brutal. Got to come down through the 95, fellas. That 01. Once we break there, we're going to see the low, that 91, 92 area, which is where I think we head anyways. If you're still short, we're coming down, it looks like, into the low. We've not reached on the ES oversold yet. There we go, into the low. Into the low. Nice trade. There we hit our day low. Now you guys may want to take some, ticks off. You guys may want to take some ticks off. Got 35 points out at the day low. Nice job, James. It's coming lower, fellas. It's coming lower. If we get a 5-minute close below here, below this 92 area, a 5-minute close below 92, and it looks like we may get that. Hang on, guys. I got to reload this. For whatever reason, whenever I go from chart to chart, my clock disappears, my timer. So if we get a close below 92, we're 23 seconds, 21 seconds. I got to get a close below 92. Then we can target 953. Gold is bouncing off the bottom. NASDAQ hasn't even considered really a bounce yet. It looks, any bounces are going to get sold. All in, all out for 35 points on 7, James? Nice job. Nice work. Nice work. All right, guys. I think you can target 53. Anybody that's running any. $15-minutes are still just selling off hard. New 15-minute candles selling off hard. Same with the ES. Everything is selling. Gold is quiet. Crude looks like it's trying to turn up on my Uniranko. Still short 6 on the ES. Yep, there's that 90 half. We could get a small bounce at 90 half. I got a target at 80. I don't know if it gets there, but, there's a gap fill from Sunday night still, fellas. You can hear all the bot trades firing, which is none. Yeah, we'll get another entry. Right? I mean, it's got to bounce. This is just, the opening press. We'll get another entry. Unfortunately, I have no bot trades. Done, and done. Nice job, Ray. I don't think this is done selling yet, fellas. We're coming down now into third standard deviation. Nice job, Ray. There's an old saying, James, which is along those lines. Scared money don't win. Right? All right, guys. I think we bounce in this area here. We're oversold on a 5-minute. I don't have a bounce where I really want to be long yet. I'd love to show you a bot trade, but we don't have any. Losing some sellers. Interestingly enough, I don't see any block trades. All right, YM is starting to bounce. If I were going to take a long, guys, it's on the next candle coming back up through. I'm above. I got to stay above the 95. YM is bouncing. If anybody is interested in a YM trade, there is a YM long trying to set up. Back up into maybe 98, 63, 62, 64, 60, this area on the YM. Back into 98 to 16. We're going to get an oversold bounce. See, we're losing the sellers. We're down to 150. So you got buyers coming in. Next candle, not yet. 13 seconds. And then your entry is going to be up here, 98, on the next candle. All right, here we go. So we got to come through 98, maybe quarter, 98 quarter. First target is going to be, first target's going to be 10, 98 quarter to 10. Now, no, not quite. Call it 8. 10 handles. We're going to trade back up to that 68%. And if we fail, it's going to be up there. But the entry is on a move through that swing. 98 quarter, maybe half. If it doesn't enter, it doesn't enter. The only way that this invalidates is if we take out that low. If we don't take out the low, then it's still a valid trade coming back up through. If we take out the low, then it's an invalid trade. Invalid trade. We are oversold. All right, fellas. Let me 74. You guys can take a long in here, is what it looks. It's trying to set up for longs. Not yet. Not yet. I got to see buyers. $74 may hold. There's 74. Nope, not holding. 66 is the next level down. A break at 66, we could trade 43. Jeez. I'll get him. Just patience, fellas, patience. Trying to hold this 74 area, guys. I think we're going to bounce. I got to get above the 95. It's holding 74. The selling is slowing down. Long 76 quarter. Yeah, I think that's a good entry.
Order filled.
Go. Hang on, guys. Come on, NASDAQ. Get above this swing at 88. If this gets above 88, it's going to fly. I have no idea, Moshi. Come on, dog. Guys, if we can get up through this swing at 98, this is going to go a long ways. We get through that 98 quarter, this is going to go. Come on, buddy. Pump up the jam. Come on. You can do it. We got an offer sitting on him at 95. There we go. All right, fellas. Anybody take that long? Good morning, Patrick. Okay, Reg. Anybody else take the NASDAQ? Okay, Dijon. That's your first target, guys. 0304. Right? Nice job, Eli. Very nice. We're long on the 3-minute on the bot. I think we can work back up to VWAP eventually. We're going back to VWAP eventually. I just don't have it yet, guys. I don't have it on the ES either. I've got nothing on the ES is still getting hit. NASDAQ will probably come back down here. Gold is trying. We're not going far in 33 buyers, though. If gold can get up through what looks like 89.8, there it goes, 7. Come on, buddy. Pump up the jam. Coming back down on the indices here, fellas. Still think we trade back to 53. Got to break 66. We break 66. We're coming 53 and possibly 43. Dollar index is basically sitting. Gold has to pop above here, guys. You can see it, 89.8. That's about what it hit, 89.7. If it gets above 89.8, it'll get that first target. Keeps hitting 7. Small buyers in here, 45, 50, 48. Not many buyers. NASDAQ's going to break 66. It's going to break the day low. There it goes. 66 busted. 53 to a half is the next target down. 53 to a half. Good Lord, man. What a slow gold trade today. You guys can see it here on a 3-minute. This is just a 3-minute. Here's where we're stuck. No bot trades. There, it's been in short since we came in, Harold. I only trade 2 charts on the ES. I trade the 15-minute and I trade a Unirenko. They've both been in shorts since we came in. If anything's going to get a reversal, it's going to be the Unirenko. Look at this gold, just wedged. If it breaks that line, it's gone. ES bounced in an area that I had no reason for it to bounce. ES may turn up on the Unirenko. 15-minute, doubtful. Dollar index is literally parked. It's not moving, not a tick. That's in the lower right-hand corner. 35.84. Okay. I have nothing there. I had 86.50. We exceeded that. We could have come to 78. I mean, it's in a long zone. It bounced in the upper end of a buy zone, which I had from 74 to 86 on the ES. I would have preferred to see a deeper pullback merely because it would have kept the stop lower. Hey, Joe. Send me an email. I'll send it to you. It's not a Ninja. I'll send you the Unarenko. This goddamn gold, man. Seriously. Gold's just going to chop around. All right, guys. You can see gold is had a little up move, down move, and now we're trying to go long. But it doesn't want to break above one standard deviation. You can see your standard deviations are flat. Just flat. I'm moving this up. I'll let it take me out. Out. Guys, gold today is fairly useless. Look, the dollar index is starting to push up a few ticks. You can see it. I mean, you can see it on this 15 range. It's flat. I've shut off gold. Waste of time. Bots are up, guys, 455. Whopping bananas. We haven't had any reversals yet. I mean, where everything has been in shorts and stayed in shorts. I don't think gold is coming down, though. I think it's just putzing around. I think gold will go long. I don't have any reason to be short gold. I see the delta. NASDAQ's holding 74 as support now. NASDAQ should, guys, trade back up to 06, give or take, 5 or 6. I mean, I can make an argument for a long here at 82, 83. If you guys are interested in that trade, but your stop has to be below 62. I'm not a trade I'll take. It's holding 74. We're still got sellers, but the sellers are starting to wind down. Hey, Magnus. I think 06 is where the NASDAQ's headed, and then potentially back to 40. If anybody, has the gumption to take a trade, you've got a long here on the NASDAQ trying. ES 86.5 would have been another entry for a small trade. Come on, NASDAQ. NASDAQ has to pop above 90. First target, if anybody has taken it, is somewhere around 8, 9, 10. I personally am not in the trade. Copper is trying to turn up on the 15-minute. Natural gas is largely flat. Let me see what crude looks like. I had no trade on crude. Negative delta of about 1100. I did have a crude trade and I didn't get it. Just before 9 o'clock, there was a long at 81. It's not gone far. Let me see natural gas. Bupkis. Natural gas, maybe even a short, small short. Anybody long NASDAQ at that 81, 82, 83 area? Anybody long NASDAQ? Okay, guys, you got buyers coming in now. All right, Gary. All right, guys. It's trying, fellas. It's about 2 points away from pushing up. First target, I have, call it 6. Call it 6. And then it's freebies. Come on, NASDAQ. Got to 94. Still think it's going to go longs. '06 is what I have as a first target, and then 40 again. 12,040. We're pushing resistance here about 92. I've got to get a 5-minute close above 92, and it's good to go. All right, new candle. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. There we go. Pump it. YM, I missed a nice long. I did miss a long. YM is longs. NASDAQ should go, guys. I mean, it's just fighting some garbage resistance. We got to 95 half. Why the NASDAQ's trading like it's the ES. Slow and steady. But '06 is where it should get. There we go. All right, come on. We get 97, we're good. 97, I think we're good. Next 15-minute candle is in about 3. Hang on, guys. Got to reload the chart to get my timer. ES is doing its job. Again, fellas, I have shut my gold robots off. Gold is just chopping around on every single time frame. 15-minute is still longs. But the smaller time frames, you know, we're green on a 5-minute, we're green on 10, green on 15, green on 20. We're green across the board on the bigger time frames in gold. But the smaller time frames, 3-minute and below, are red. So we have a mixed bag. I've shut gold bots off. If something changes, I'll let you know. NASDAQ is trying, guys. I still think it's a good trade. I don't see any reason to be out of the trade or short. You do have 10 handles in it, give or take, if anybody wants them. But if we can get above 97, we got 2 minutes to the next 15-minute candle. If we can get above 97, I think you guys are good to go. But that's kind of the Rubicon, right? 97 area. There we go. Come on. Buyers are trying. There's 96 half, 97 half. You should be good to go, fellas. We're through the noise. Now it's a nice trade. Let me just show you where we're at. You got an offer sitting on him at 12,000. He jumped. He's back. It's a nice trade, fellas. 15 handles if anybody is in it or better. I still think 06, 07 for target one. 06, 07. Got to get through this swing here at 4, which it should. Got buyers. Come on, Pokey. Here we go. It's winding up. It's winding up. Oh, don't you stop at 4. Pop that 4. Guys, ES is a long above 95.50. Yeah, delta is negative, but look at what they've done, right? Look at what they've done. We're 2,500 negative delta here, and in this last candle, we're at 1678. So we still have a negative delta, but they're buying them back. And we failed at 04. You dog. Still almost close to 20 handle trade. I'm not giving up on that long. As always, and I always leave the caveat, you guys trade as you see fit. But there's no way, there's no reason to allow a trade, the entry 82, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in through there, that you would allow that to go to a negative or a losing trade. There's no way. It's almost a 20, depending on where someone may have gotten in, almost 20 handles. That's a pretty nice NASDAQ trade, fellas. So the delta's increasing again, but they're not driving price below the 68. Now they're buying them back. Let me see natural gas. Jesus, 2,300 buyers in natural gas, and we're not going anywhere. We're not getting above VWAP. Just crazy. Crude is at VWAP. And they're buying them back, but slowly. I think crude gives you a long coming through VWAP, maybe 1920 entry on crude. Got to get through VWAP, right? 1920 entry. Stop down here at 97. It's the best I have for now, with targets at 30 and 37. See why we want to get through VWAP? Here's copper. Copper's trying to turn up on the bot on the 15-minute. ES isn't even close on the 15-minute, but it's trying on the Unirenko. Where are we? Somebody bought 138 contracts in the previous candle. 3,600. Guys, give me 1 minute if you would. So we got the first unfinished auction. So it's about a 19 or 20 trade. Small. NASDAQ, guys, it's buy and hold. We're going to go to VWAP. Buy and hold. I mean, there's no real volatility in this again today. But 06, 07 is your first target area. Here it goes. Boom, 6. 6.5. So you got that 6-7 area. I still think we're going higher, but that's basically first target, fellas. I mean, that required the patience of Job. Did you hold it, James? Did you hold? I mean, that's terrible, man. Seriously. I anybody ever or remember the NASDAQ moving this slowly? Since last Wednesday, this has basically been the trade. Nice hold. You got yourself a day going here, brother. I still think this goes to 40. Could be when we get rid of Europe in an hour, but I think it's going to 40. I don't have a trade anywhere, fellas, on the bots. I've got some that are trying to turn up. Next level up, it'd be VWAP. And then our 68% on top, right? If we can cross VWAP, we're going to start working up into here. 39.40. I mean, the first step is VWAP, right? This is just the white lines disregard. Those are areas in the candle where you have matched buyers and sellers. Yeah, VWAP is right here. That cayenne colored blue line, that's your VWAP. Right here. Thank you. Thank you. Nice, James. Where are you going? Venetian cash poker game. Very nice. Maybe we'll see you on TV in the World Series of Poker. The auto component, Ray, is an add-on. So the order flow is $12.95. The auto component is also $12.95, and you own it. There's no. It's still a relative, even with the auto component, which you can't get anywhere, or no one I know has one. It still makes it a relatively inexpensive piece of software, right? I mean, you look at the Noft. What are they, 4,500, and it's utter garbage. Ordinarily, I go through. Yeah, I'll do that. Ordinarily, guys, for my trial members, I go through, membership on Fridays. But because we're sitting here essentially watching paint dry, there are no bot trades. I can do that again. So the room offers. All right, Harold. Yeah, absolutely. Nice to see you again, as always. There are essentially 3 memberships. The first membership would be the purchase of the bot. We've discounted it to $24.97 for this trial. You can purchase that on the website, anybody that's interested, targetstradingpro.com. I can show you guys the website momentarily. The $24.97 allows for licensing of the bot on 2 computers. So maybe some of you trade with a friend, some of you have a child that trades. I trade with my daughter, for instance. She's here with me. She enters trades for us. We have a member whose 19-year-old daughter, although I haven't seen her in the room in a couple of days, is learning to trade. But you can license it on 2 computers. And that would apply to the order flow software as well. But the first membership is $24.97 for the bot. You own it for life. There's no annual licensing fee. There's no add-ons to the bot itself, meaning, oh, well, you want the candles green, well, that's an extra $200. There's none of that. You own it for life. It's a single purchase. Any updates or upgrades we do to the robot, they're free of charge. That purchase comes with 3 months in the room. So if you purchase the robot, you'll be with us in the room for 3 months. No additional charge for that, where you can take advantage of these order flow trades, which for the last 2 days you guys have now seen, and you'll see the rest of the week, are highly accurate. At the end of 3 months, here we go. At the end of we're longs, guys. At the end of 3 months, you have the option to stay in the room for $199 a month. Now, the benefit would be order flow trades, right? By the end of 3 months, you're pretty familiar with the bot. If you're just running the bot, then there may not be a benefit to being in the room. But if you want to take advantage of order flow trades, which I offer to enhance profitability, it's $199 a month. With the bot purchase, you also get permanent access to member Skype. I have a group member Skype. I also have a member area that you will have permanent access to. And I'll show you guys the member area. The second membership is an annual membership, which is $34.97. It includes the robot, and it obviously gives you, is there any? Yeah, absolutely. Of course, James. And I'm going to come to that in a second if you give me 1 minute. And the annual membership basically gives you a break on the monthly, right? So you get the bot, which is $24.97. And then basically for another $1,000, you have a total of 12 months in the room, right? The last membership is a 2-year membership, which is what I call my order flow education membership. That 2-year membership is $49.97. That is not discounted. There are no discounts offered on that. And that $49.97 includes the robot and this order flow software. It does not include the auto aspect of the software. That's still another $12.95. But the $49.97 gives you 2 years now in the room. I think far and away the best value. And especially for those that want to learn order flow, how am I identifying these trades that I'm offering you guys? Once a week on Fridays, we get together. Now I'm about halfway through with my first group. So anybody that might be interested in learning order flow and you come in now, you would get all of the previous recordings in addition to sitting in the rest of the class. And then I'm starting another class in January, and then I would recycle you guys back into that January class. So you'd start from the beginning in January, probably the second or third week of January. But at least you guys will have a head start on that class as well, anybody that actually wants to learn order flow, right? So for instance, when the bots are quiet like they are now, I can still find order flow trades. Why don't I not have my news? It's interesting. Hang on, guys. Thought it was quiet. Hang on. Okay. So this is my website, right? Most of you guys have seen it. Anybody that would like to call me, if you have questions, we got a lot of trials this week, guys. I mean, we're over 125 trials for the week. We have a lot of trials this week. It's a big week. If anybody hasn't seen the website, targetstradingpro.com, my telephone number is here. You guys can call me. I take calls 7 days a week. Minimum of probably 3 to 4 months, Raymond. By then, you guys will all get it. Anybody that doesn't, I'll keep teaching, but you guys will get it. Order flow is not hard, fellas. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's not hard. If you go to the member area, should you become a member, I have no idea. I don't even know what Basecamp Trading is. I don't even know who they are. Never heard of them. In the member area, so for instance, you purchase the bot, and now you're a member. Every 2 weeks, I put a new link in the room. If you guys want to be in the room, you log into the member area, you get your link for the room. When I do Saturday education, yeah, I've never heard of them, Raymond. I don't even know who they are. Basecamp, never heard of them. When I do Saturday education, I put the link in here. I do education frequently on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern. If you can't make it, the session is recorded, and then I email it to everybody. I have a manual here on the robot, installation of the bot, how to install it, how to build a chart if you don't know. You were in Basecamp, waste of time? Yeah, I don't know them, Joe. Never heard of them. Building a chart, adding the indicator to your chart, getting the bot functional, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a manual. Then I have all of these previous educational videos that I've done. They did not end in March. I still do education. There's only so much I can teach on the bot. But every question you have regarding the bot is in these videos. Okay? In these videos. Then over here, you'll notice I have current charts and settings. These have all been back tested and forward tested. I mean, like for instance, I don't trade the Russell, but this 15 range generally does fairly well. So we have the chart settings and all of your ATR settings, et cetera, is in the member area. Any questions, guys? As far as robots go, there are thousands of robots available. 99% do not make money. They don't. Yeah, there is no performance per se, Zaki. I don't have a performance page, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I can do a performance page. The problem is I don't manage my own website. I have a professional company that manages it. And working with them is like turning a battleship in the ocean. It takes about 25 miles. They're slow. I have to submit a form, which means if I update a performance page from week to week, I could do it on a monthly basis, but then it's outdated. If I did a performance or track record, I would have to do it on every chart I trade, which is a fair amount of charts. And then I would have to update it or at least have disclaimers. And even if I did have the disclaimers, somebody's going to email me and say, okay, I see what the bot did last month, but what did it do this month? So I'm no further ahead. And I generally don't track them. But I'll tell you what I do. I think that was redundant. I'll tell you what I do. Yeah, tell you what I do. I can give you, for instance, the ES on a 15-minute bot. Just the ES on a 15-minute bot, trading between 3 a.m. Eastern, Europe, and 11 a.m. Eastern, half an hour ahead of the close of Europe, through 2 weeks ago. Now, I've not added any stats in the last 2 weeks. So the ES on the 15-minute chart has taken 57 trades with 51 winners, 89.4%. Now, let me address that win rate. When we start getting much above 70% on the win rate, you start getting fewer and fewer trades. But 89.4% win rate. They're buying these all back, guys. We're going back up. That was a BTFD. Maximum consecutive winners was 18. Maximum consecutive losers was 2 times, for a total gross of $32,537.50. Now, yesterday, I can show you the bot, for instance, yesterday, right? If this takes a trade, it won't be when we're in the room. That I can tell you. This is a trade it took this morning at 5:30. This is a trade it took at 3:15. So today, if you were running it at 3:15 or 3 a.m. Eastern, you would have taken this long and you would have lost 30 ticks times 3, 90 ticks on the ES, 3 contracts, down 90 ticks. Okay. You would have gotten 24 and 23, so you'd have gotten 47 ticks back. You'd be down about $475 on the ES. Now, yesterday, this is yesterday, it takes this winning trade at 9:45. So let me go back to 3 a.m. Short, never crosses into a long, short, losing trade here. You get this winning trade here, which offsets this mostly. Another winning trade, a losing trade here, a winning trade at 1 o'clock if you're trading in the afternoon. Yeah, of course, it'll trade micros. 1 o'clock, and then another winning trade at 4 o'clock if you're trading at 4 o'clock. Then it goes into this sell. So one of the problems, that guys have is they'll say, well, it doesn't take enough trades. But another winning trade, another winning trade. I'm not interested in how many trades it takes. I'm more interested in, does it make money? I know it's going to have losing trades. Anybody that thinks otherwise is kind of naive. NASDAQ is now at 21. We're headed toward that 40, fellas. Anybody still holding NASDAQ? Slow, torturous trade, but this trade started in the mid-80s, low to mid-80s. If anybody is still holding. Okay, Gary, look at this. We got one of the members still holding. We're going to 40. I didn't pull that number out of thin air, fellas, while this thing is reloading. Where's my order flow? There we go. Winning trade, winning trade, winning trade, winning trade. Here's a small losing trade at 8 o'clock. Winning trade, small loser, winning trade, small loser on the shorts. But again, this is a chart that I love. If this turns up long, we'll take the trade. Will the bot automatically know whether to go short? Yes, Joe. Yes. When the parameters are met, it'll trade both sides. Now, one of the things with the bot, if you guys have a bias, right? If you guys have a bias on the bot, we're going to 40, fellas, 37 now. And then higher. We're trading up to 37. We're down to 1,100 net sellers. It's all in order flow if you want to learn to manually trade. One of the things with the bot is I can set it to take longs only, shorts or shorts only, or all trades, which means when all the parameters are met, long or short, it will take those trades. Well, if I'm only interested in longs, I can leave it on longs only. Let's see what James said. Thanks for another great day. You go 6 times a year to Vegas. You'll be gambling with loudmouth Mike Matisow. David Bennett, whatever. I don't even know who he is. By trading with you gives me more patience and discipline. Back in a few days. All right, James. Good luck, man. Go win some money. Guys, we're going to go higher. We're above VWAP. Our delta's decreasing. Yeah, poker play. He's going to play poker. James has been with us about 3 months. Had been in a number of rooms before here. Suffice to say, he did not do well. Came in on the first day of his trial and joined. And he has done very well since joining. Now, he's been James, how long have you been a member? 3 months? Is it 3 months yet? See if he may be gone. He posted back in member Skype a couple of weeks back. At the time, he was up about $165,000 in 3 months, trading 7 contracts. Now, I've never seen a brokerage statement. He's never said, again, I can't verify that. I can only tell you what he said, and I take people for face value. He posted it in member Skype. I didn't ask him to. Combination, but I know he takes all my order flow trades. I know he took the long and he took the short today and the long. But the reason I offer order flow trades, guys, is, if you follow, once you get used to me and what we're doing in the room, if you follow along, it should be dynamically profitable for you guys. Where guys get in trouble is they do their own thing. I have absolutely zero bot trades, guys. Nothing. I mean, it's been just a ugly session. And Moshe said the same thing. Just listen and make money. Okay, well, thank you for that endorsement. Saudi oil minister saying OPEC Plus is still leaving all options on the table. I'm not sure what he's referring to. Guys, I still like NASDAQ long. We're not overbought yet on the 5-minute that I'm watching. We're headed toward that 37 area, which is one standard deviation, and it's the 68% level. Here we go. Look, we're below 1,000 net sellers, guys. So order flow is very simple for those that may be interested in joining in the order flow program. All we do is trade station to station to station. We're not taking arbitrary or indiscriminate trades, right? It's very simple. We're trading to here. It's very simple. We're trading to 37. Now, I said this. You guys can replay the tape. I'll be sending it out again today to everybody. Those of you that did not receive yesterday's, I will send you yesterday's. If you didn't get it, email me and I'll send it to you. You'll have today's at some point today. And I called for, called for 40, right? I gave you guys targets. Yeah, I mean, Bill, it's like anything else, and you've been in before, but you've got to get used to me. I do tend to watch a lot of charts, so people will, but primarily, guys, I trade the ES, the NASDAQ, and gold. That is correct, Raymond. Yep, correct. And if you look at it here, one standard deviation is 37.25 on my order flow. I'm at 37.5, so it's one tick off. But so you guys understand how this order flow is built. Is there anybody that does not understand daily distribution? Is there anyone that does not understand that term or doesn't know what that means, daily distribution? Okay, so daily distribution is where price has been in the session, okay? So if let's just say $1 to $2, that is your daily distribution from $1 to $2. Now, along those ways, we have areas where price has spent more time than others, okay? We build up volume in certain areas. On the left-hand side of this order flow is a volume profile, okay? Now you can see up in here, it is, oh, we got a trade. Look at that on the bot. Hang on, guys. I can't move the damn bot. Hang on. You can see it's pretty thin. It looks like a straight up line. That means there's not it's from overnight. There's not a lot of contracts traded. There we go. Not a lot of contracts have traded there. Come on. I'm trying to move it, guys. There it is. And then within that distribution, we have VWAP, volume weighted average price. And then what some would refer to as standard deviations. On my order flow, I refer to them as 68% of daily distribution, top and bottom, up and down, below VWAP, above VWAP. And then we have 95% of daily distribution, okay? Which means in almost theoretical, I guess, if we were at $1 and VWAP is at 50 cents, this would be 68% removed from VWAP and 95% removed from VWAP. So we're going to, if anybody is still holding, we're going to grind to 37.5. I still think we got to get above, I need a 5-minute close above 32. And then we trade 37.5. And above that area, we trade 70, 12,070. We're down to 500 net sellers. So where were we? Where were we? 2,500. I see 2,500 at 10 o'clock. We're down to 470. What's going on? They're buying them back. They're buying them all back. Anybody think we're not going to tag that 37.5 to 40 area? Anybody think we're not going to get that area? We're going to get it, fellas. Now, again, I didn't guess at the number. I'm just looking at order flow. I told you when we were in the 80s, we should get to 6 or 7. We did. I told you if we had the close above, 5-minute close above 92, we were going to 40. It's not a guess. And it's, and again, one thing about order flow, we're almost a first target on that ES trade, guys. One thing about order flow, fellas, it's a transferable skill. Anybody can learn order flow. It's not like, if you wanted to be a professional baseball pitcher, but you can't throw a fastball 95 miles an hour, that can't be taught. Either you have it genetically or you don't. Trading order flow is a learned skill. Anybody can learn it. I learned it. I've passed it on to members in the room that do very well with it. We're down to 360, fellas. 368. See you tomorrow, Chris. ES is a couple of ticks away from this first target. Kirk, if you would email me, I will not remember out of the chat. Please send me an email and I'll send it to you as soon as I close the room. Come on, ES. Seriously? We're 3 ticks shy of that first target, guys. I don't know what it's struggling at up here, but if you guys want your money, take it. 3 ticks shy. It's your prerogative. Slow, dull trading today. And Gary, who is in the class and is doing very well with order flow, says his biggest takeaway from order flow is it keeps him out of bad trades and he takes smaller stops. Yeah, I guess you're right, Eli. Slow, but 75 to 100 handle trade. Not yet. It'd be 65 or so if we get target. Slow and dull. Let's look at the ES for the heck of it. Where are we on the ES? Yeah, we got buyers on the ES, guys. ES will trade up to 08.5. I would not be interested in the short on the ES. But we are pushing, resistance up here at 06. You're welcome, Moshi. Nice job. Up 1387.50. Great job. See you tomorrow, my friend. Do any of my trials have any questions? I wish this was a week where we were getting 8, 10, 12, 15 bot trades a day, but my reference, this is a 5-minute as well. This is a Unirenko over here. It's not a reference chart. Randy, what I'm looking at over here is 5-minute order flow. This is a Unirenko chart. Guys, this should go to 8.5, right? Yes, absolutely, Ray. Yep. No, the bot isn't using that on Randy. The bot is not using the 177 or 233. It's actually using the 1 minute on the Unirenko. Kent, I run the bot on about 18 charts. The only thing not included in that, Frank, is the auto aspect of the order flow. We're going to trade to that 850.75 area. Look at this. We're 2 ticks shy of first target, guys. 2 ticks. Oh, you're welcome, Bill. No, the basic membership, Jack, is $24.97, which gives you the bot and 3 months in the room. No, Bill, no. I don't detail them. Gold made this, ES lost that, NQ did this. No. All I care about is at the end of the day, do they make money? On what time? Oh, 5 minute. Because we're going to get days like, today, gold has done nothing for us. It's had one big trade and really has traded sideways. And you're going to get days with, the ES, if it gets this first target, it's only 3.5 handles. There it is at target. It didn't fill it. First target filled ES. You're going to get days, like the ES made more money now than gold has today. One trade. Of course, Raymond. Yeah, absolutely. So if we bought the bot and set it to the settings, well, in theory, yes. In reality, Bill, we don't all get the same trades at the same prices, right? I mean, because not all of us, we don't all get the same data the same way. For instance, I use Rithmic. The answer is yes. The theory is yes. Yeah, close. Yeah. So, for instance, we could be 3 or 4 ticks different. It's just how we're getting the data. There's a misconception that we all get the same data at the same time. We don't, right? First off, different data providers package and move their data differently. The biggest discrepancies on trades come in the Unirenko. Because if anybody here used a Unirenko before? Not a Renko, but a Unirenko. So you guys know it's a hollow body candle, right? It's not a real candle. It's hollow. It's a hollow candle. It's filled in. And so the way that my bot is set up, I'm using a 1 tick offset, meaning the bot gives the signal and then it becomes a market order at the opening of the next candle, allowing for 1 tick of slippage. So sometimes we will miss trades, especially in the Unirenko. Yeah, I have Lizard's Renko as well. I like it too. So sometimes with a Unirenko, we're going to miss trades because price has already moved through that entry plus 1 tick. No, it is not available for NinjaTrader 7. No. NinjaTrader 8, yes, but not 7. Nice job, Ryman. Very nice. Nice job. I love to hear those stories. Second day in the room. Fellas, do I have anybody that did not make money today? Meaning you've taken a trade or two and did not make money. If you took no trades, that's a wash, right? Obviously, if you took no trades, you didn't make any money. Do I have anybody that did not make money today? $36.50. We didn't quite get to my 40. Okay. Down to 400 net sellers, or moving a little lower again with some selling pressure, guys. So we're kind of in the witching hour at this point. We're in the witching hour. The witching 30 minutes. We're 30 minutes to the close of Europe. This is when the markets usually now kind of get a little squirrely. Nice, Charles. So another one of my guys in order flow. And again, I take people for face value, fellas. I can only tell you what they tell me. So one of my order flow guys is up 1390 using his order flow. He's in the class, which is now into our, this week will be 12 weeks. Third winning day in a row for about the same number. It's not hard. I do not believe that order flow is difficult, fellas. This is going to take me out. Done. That's just going to take me out, guys. If that 15-minute turns up, I would be interested in that. Looks like we're going to come back to VWAP. Small sellers in here. You're up, Gary, 1335? Yeah, so so with order flow, for instance, let me give you a for instance about stop placement. So targets are easy, right? So what if we wanted to take a short here? I don't really have a place to take a short. Theoretically, I guess I could, but I have nowhere to hide. So yeah, Joseph, it's the auto aspect of the order flow, the auto execute aspect. So let me give you a better for instance. Let's say we know we want to take a long coming through VWAP, right? So let's say I took a trade here on that candle off those buyers. I would be somewhere long here, right? Through VWAP. I would be long somewhere in there, correct? That's about where I'd want to be long coming through VWAP. So the question is now, where do I hide my stop, right? We don't want to just trade to take a trade. You'd be long again in here. So I look for stacked buyers to hide behind. So my stop, if I were long there, my stop would be down here. I would hide behind those buyers. Here. I would be behind these guys here. Can I make it smaller? Yeah, I mean, I can. But remember the purpose of a stop. The purpose of a stop is not to minimize your loss. Too many traders trade with arbitrary stops, arbitrary targets. The purpose of a stop, guys, is to keep you in the trade and allow the trade to work. So for instance, on a day like today, we have no momentum today, right? It's kind of a, other than the first 30 minutes, which was a grind down. Anybody that listened and took this trade coming back up through in here in the 80s, which is where I gave it, right? Look at what you dealt with. Move up, pull back, move up, pull back, move up, pull, price moves in waves. Now, some days we get those monstrously directional moves. Today was not one of those days. Back and forth, 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 back and forth. So you want your stop in a reasonable place that allows you to stay in the trade and work to target. Now, I'm not in this trade, but anybody that may have taken this trade, is there anybody still holding NASDAQ? Is there anybody that is still holding NASDAQ? Let's assume you got in at 85. Price is at 25. It's 40 handle. All right, Gary's still holding it. Mike LaMonaco still holding it. It's 40 handles. It's been as high as 35, 50 handles up here. How many trials have you guys been in where someone has actually explained the trade and given you targets beforehand and they come to fruition? Not many. There's not, guys, I've been in this business now 7 years. 99% of the rooms out there cannot trade. Period. The end. Cannot trade. Cannot trade. The yellow box on the order flow. So that yellow box in each candle is the 3-tick range where the most amount of volume is. So one of the things that you'll see is they'll pull this yellow box up and down and then go the other way. So for instance, look here in this previous candle. You see the yellow box is all the way up near the top, and what'd they do? Buyers chased it up, and then they sold it out from under them. The gray box, or the gray price within the box, is the point of control in the candle. This is a great scalping method. You wait for them to pull the box down. We're coming into VWAP, guys. We're coming back to VWAP. And as soon as this 3-tick range gets sucked down to the bottom, they'll bring it right back up, and they'll leave the sellers stuck, right? And then what happens is, guys that are short will start covering, and they'll propel price higher. Give me 1 minute. I will be sending out today's video. If you don't get it, send me an email and I'll send it to you manually. But I'm sending it out vis-a-vis. Thank you, Raymond. I send it out vis-a-vis benchmark email. This ES is coming down, guys. I don't care what it does in here. It's going to get, still got a positive delta, but there's a lot of sellers here. So on this, Susan, on this NASDAQ, this is the 3-minute. First target at 11 and call it 12, and second target at 23 handles was hit. It's not gone to third target yet, but I think it will. She surely doesn't look healthy, does it? Guys, do any of my trial members have any questions? Are you guys enjoying your week-long trial here, fellas? Let me give you my total real quick. Very, very pedestrian day for us. My bots are all off. We did 767.50. Yesterday we did 1910. No, 1190. 1190 plus 767.50. So in 2 days we're up just under $2,000. Bitcoin, I never thought I'd see 20,000 again. Thank you, Bill. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. We got to bounce long back up probably to 92. Yeah, I'm not buying Bitcoin at 17,000, man. Bounce long to 91.50. Now it may reject and roll over again there, but that's what it looks like. Guys, I want to thank you again for sitting in. I have to eat my lunch, and then I've got one-on-ones to do. For my trial members, I work with members that may have questions, may be struggling, may not understand some things. Thank you, Raymond. I hope you guys enjoyed the day. I hope you guys are, picking up some information, both on the bots and order flow. Bought a coin, half a coin yesterday, added to the stash. I do, Raymond. Yeah, of course. Yep. You're very welcome, Aspen. Randy B, you as well. Raymond, Richard. Guys, have a blessed day. You're welcome, Ryman. Have a very blessed day, fellas. For my members, I'll be on member Skype a little bit later. If there are trades to do, I will put them in Skype. If you guys want to take them, your prerogative. I hope you guys all made some money today. I hope my trials, you as well, Richard. Joseph, you as well. Guys, I hope that for my trials, and we got a lot of trials this week, guys, a lot of trials. I hope this is opening your eyes. I hope that you are seeing some things you have never seen before. If you folks have questions, you can call me or email me. I'm happy to answer questions. I cannot do much about the volatility. I can't make a move faster or generate more trades. But as I said yesterday, the thing I want you to focus on is some of you guys as traders like to overtrade. You think you see something and you like to hit a button. The nice thing about the bot, you will not overtrade. We did not take many trades today. They were only up 787, 767.50. Green is green, fellas. Most traders can't make $767 a day. They just can't. They certainly can't do it consistently. The other nice thing is with order flow, it forces you to exercise patience because we take trades in areas. You're up 852, so you're a little bit ahead of me on the bots. Nice job, Dirk. Guys, have a blessed day. I've got to eat my lunch, and then I've got one-on-ones to do with members today, which I do every day. If anybody needs me, feel free to call me, email me, or Skype me. I'm happy to answer questions.